Mr. Horgan, what barriers and or problems do you see as it relates to the relationship between the mayor's office and Akron City Council?
The simple truth is that there's probably no perceptually more important relationship that the mayor has with its other equal elected body. And whether it's starting with, and I may have covered this a little bit ago, when it comes to a level of respect and respecting those decisions. And it's a process, and it's a, being someone of faith and having respect for those opinions, it's important to be able to listen to them. They're always not going to agree. But I think when you undermine one institution in public and other, people lose public confidence in that. And I don't think that's a perception a very good problem. I don't think it's a very good issue at all, which is why I proposed a civility reform package about a month ago. But you can't just talk about civility. You have to engage in civility, and you have to train people how to be civil. If they're not, it goes back to the same point I made a little bit ago about when you have somebody and you train them to do a certain way, they're always going to do the wrong thing. Unless you train them the right way, unless we start to practice civility amongst ourselves, then we'll never get there. Those are the proposals that I have to move forward. And I reached out to every single council member that is running and said, regardless of what the outcome is, and if I'm fortunate enough to be elected, then I promise that I made my promise that I will work with them as diligently as before and into the future.
Civility. Here's the thing, in my profession, it's an adversarial system as an attorney. I've sat across from prosecutors and other attorneys where we are clearly and to the top of everything in our fiber advocating for our client's rights. But here's the thing, we are professionals at our jobs. And here's the thing, we need to have professionalism here. I can agree to disagree with someone on the other side, and after the case is over with, we can go and have a beer and sit down and talk about the case. The problem with the civility issue is that we're electing people who are somewhat immature, albeit maybe passionate about it. But the thing is, you can't take the job so personally that you start taking it to a professional beyond the professional scope of things. It's just, my attitude is like this, the path that we all took to get here tonight, in all different paths, doesn't mean that the path that anyone else took to get here is the wrong or right path. But we're here today to hear three men debate. So we can agree or disagree as to which path was the shortest and quickest, but at the end of the day, we should be able to leave still respecting each other's position. And I'm the only person here that has the training and the years of experience of dealing in an adversarial system. Because part of the problem is that we have not had an adversarial system at City Hall in a while. It's just been a rubber stamp on a lot of things that's going on. We can all agree, and one of the things that I will do is reach out to each and every city council person and say, look, as long as the idea promotes building a better Akron, we can agree to disagree on how we get to do it.
Okay, that's first time in 28 years that I've been called non-adversarial. First of all, in those 28 years, I have dealt with each and every member of council, each and every member of the administration, and I've done that in a professional manner. We've had disagreements. My dad told me when I started this process, he said, son, in politics there's no permanent friends and no permanent enemies. You have to continue to work with people and move the people's agenda forward. I've always kept the people's agenda in the front of my mind. There have been times when I have been totally disrespected, but I could not return that disrespect with disrespect. You always have to be professional because I'm representing other people. I don't have the luxury of responding to someone who has name-called me or done other things in a non-professional way. So I have done that. 21 years at First Merit Bank dealing in the Human Resources Department and dealing with people who have been unprofessional to each other and working through those issues and restoring people to their rightful places and dealing with that conflict. So I have the training as well to deal with these issues, but I live the training. That's what I do.
Quick one, I'll just take 30 seconds. And I think it's maybe having a greater understanding of the clerk's office. I literally have to work with 10 Republican judges a day. I literally have to work with every county agency, the 26 arresting agencies in the county. All of them sometimes can be adversarial. It doesn't mean that we take that out in public, but we do get the decisions and we do kind of work through that process that may help it. The process of justice is something that their clerk's office has been dedicated to for the last 150 years. I've been lucky enough to be able to continue that process to make sure it's accessible to everybody and so those public disputes don't necessarily affect that access to justice.